Hello and welcome to Technical Utkranti, and today we'll be looking into another question on heap, which is about finding k most frequently occurring elements. So let's look at the thought for the day and let's start. So these are the 6 questions that we have done till now in heap, and today we'll be looking into the 7th question on heap. So let's understand the question. You are given an array like this. As you can see here, some numbers are repeated more number of times, some are repeated lesser number of times, and some are present just once. We need to return to the user the k most frequently occurring element, which is, in this case, we need to return the 2 most frequently occurring elements, which in this case are 1 and 2, right? 1 occurs 3 times, 2 occurs 2 times, and rest of the elements occur lesser number of times. They have lesser frequency. Therefore, these 2 elements have the highest frequency, and hence these compose our answers. Let's see how are we going to do it. Okay. So first of all, what we'll be doing is we'll maintain a dictionary with key as the elements in the array and the value as their occurrence. So 1 occurs 3 times, 2 occurs 2 times, 3 occurs 1 time, 100 occurs 1 time. Okay. Once we have this dictionary, what we can do is, in first method, we can just sort the dictionary by value in the descending order and just return the top k elements or the top k keys. Alright. So as you can see, this particular dictionary is already sorted by value in the descending order 3, 2, 1, 1, and the top k or the top 2 elements are 1, 2, and we get 1, 2 as the answer. Sorting of the dictionary would be k log of n time complexity, because there are k elements, right? And the fastest sorting algorithm takes k log n time complexity. So this is how we are going to do it, just by sorting, right? Let's look at the code for this. So here I have the array and the k, which indicates k, how many number of elements that we need to return. Alright, this is a dictionary. We just iterate through the array and store the value of the array in the dictionary. So the key is the element of the array, and the value would be the frequency of that element in the array. So here we will maintain the dictionary, and once we have got the dictionary, we'll sort it based on the value. So if I had made this particular index as 0, then the dictionary would have been sorted by key, but when I put 1, the dictionary would be sorted by value, and when I do it dot reverse, it will be sorted in descending order, right? Descending order arrangement I'll get. Okay. Once I have this, I just need to return. I'll just parse through the dictionary, and I will just need to have the k elements. The first k elements or the first k keys of the dictionary would constitute the answer, and I'll break off once I have appended k elements, and that would be the answer. So let's look at what our answer is going to be. So what do you think? What is going to be our answer? When we want to have 2 most frequently occurring element in this particular array, our answer would be 1, 2. Yes. And let's say we want to have 3 most frequently occurring elements, then we'll have 1, 2, 300 or 1, 2, 3. I mean, because we just are returning 3 elements, so it can take any of these 1 element, right? Because 3 and 100 both have frequency of 1, so it took 3. All right. So we understood the sort method of getting the k most frequently occurring elements, and we understood that the time complexity for it would be k log n. Now in similar time complexity we can do the same question via heap. Okay, so the time complexity was O of k log n. Instead of sorting from here, what we can do is we can insert these elements into heap. All right, so when we insert elements into heap, we insert by value like this: 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3. So we insert based on the count, and this is the value, right? So in max heap, what happens is the maximum element would be at the top, right? So this is like we are creating heap based on the count value, right? Element value is the second value of the tuple that we are storing. Okay, so this is 2, 2, 3, 1, and this child would be 100, 1, right? So once you have created the heap, so this heap creation would be k log of n time complexity, correct? And when we, so now once heap is created, we just need to get the top k elements from heap. So when we get the element, it will return us the element with the maximum count, right? So firstly we'll get 3, 1, and we'll put 1 into the answer. After we have removed 3, this will be 1, 3, and this will be 1, 100. I hope you understand why I did that. Element would be the second entry of the tuple and the count would be the first, right? So these are the counts. Okay, once 3 is removed, our heap would look like 2, 2, and 1, 100, and 1, 3, right? And again we get from the heap, and we get 2, 2, and this 2 would go into the answer, and we have done k gets from the heap, and this finally would constitute our answer 1, 2, right? In this example, our time complexity was k log n, and like dictionary we are creating in both the methods, but in this case we are also creating heap, so our space complexity has also gone up, right? Okay, so I hope you understood the second method. Let's look at the code of it. So as in the previous case, we are creating dictionary over here. Okay, now let us see how our dictionary looks like. So our dictionary has value count, value 3 comes one time, 100 comes one time, 2 comes 2 times, and 1 comes 3 times. Yeah. Now we have created this heap, or in Python we also call priority queue, and we start inserting the counts of the dictionary. So d of I would represent the count of the key I, and since there is a minimum heap, so we insert the negative of the count into the heap along with the element. Okay, so in this way we basically create the heap, and then we'll just get the k, elements from the heap, and that would constitute our answer. Okay, so as you can see that again in this case also we get the same answer, and if we give, let's say 3, I want top 3 elements, then what is the difference? So we get 1, 2, 3, right? Okay, now there is a more optimal method to do this, which is done via bucket sort. So how are we going to do it? So in this third method, what we'll do is we'll just create an array of the size of the length of the array that we are given. So we have in total 7 elements, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So what we'll do is we will treat these counts as the indices where we can place the elements. For example, 6, there is no element which occurs 6 times in the dictionary, right? There is no element which occurs 5 times, there is no element which occurs 4 times, but there is an element which occurs 3 times, which is 1. So I create a list here at third index and store 1. Now there is also an element which occurs 2 times, so I store like this. And then there are 2 elements which occurs once, which is 3, 100, right? So as you can see that I have just created one array based on the frequency of the elements, right? So I can just now parse through the array from its higher index and keep on appending the element that we get into the answer until we have got the k elements. So this will be just O of n time complexity. The parsing would be O of n time complexity. So how does the code look like? We create the dictionary as usual. We create an array of lists. So let's see how does this array looks like. I'll not print the answer for now. So as you can see, I have created empty lists of how many empty lists? Of the size of the array, the input array given to me by the user. Okay. Now what I'll do? I have already created the dictionary which has key and the frequency. Alright. So I will treat the frequency of the element as the index of this newly created array, and on that index I'll append the element. Alright. So let's see after each insertion how our array looks like. So as we see that element 1 had a frequency of 3, so at the index of 3 I had inserted 1. Element 2 had the frequency of 2, so at index 2 I have inserted element 2, right? Element 3 had a frequency of 1, so at index 1 I had inserted element 3, and so is the case with element 100, right? Now simply what I need to do is I need to traverse this particular array from right to left, and just keep on appending the elements from these lists until I had appended k elements, correct? So how am I going to do this? I would start from the back, and if whatever, so each element would be a list, and if list is not empty, I would append the elements of the list to my answer list. And if the length of the, like if I had appended k elements to my answer, then I'll break, and similarly this check would come here as well, and ultimately I'll return the answer. So let's see if I get what I think I can get. So yes. So I hope you understood all the 3 methods and their time complexity, their algorithms and their code. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye.